My question to myself: how do you kill snakes and rats that's inside of humans and uses humans' eyes, ears, face, body to hurt them and their families and to steal their personal information and money and to violate their privacy in every way? My answer is prayer. My prayer is my inspiration through faith. My Christian Indian God, the only God that I ever knew of, grew to love, the God of truth, strength, love, and respect that I was raised to know, understand, and pray to with my soul praying hands, who control all things and everyone. I always knew of you to be a Christian God. Never was I raised to know of you to be anything else or for anyone else. In the city of Philadelphia, in the United States of America, I ask of you today to take back everything that the evil prince, the devil that lies, the wannabe female that's trying to be me, the Grinch that tried to steal Christmas from Christians, the rats, the hate, the snakes, the lies, the liars, the games, the game players, the food games, the players, the human traffickers, the disrespectful religions, the ungodly religions, the disrespectful heritages, the schemes, the scams, in every way. From out of every situation, from out of every house, home, business, family, churches, from out of people, from out of people's information, from all foundations, from out of their ears, eyes, face, body, even their mind, and stop them from violating our privacy in every way. I ask of you, my Indian Christian God, just to help me structure, strengthen my foundation, all foundations, my children foundation, even my children, person, their body, mind, ears, eyes, space, and all those areas, even like Jennings and his family. Strengthen all of us to just start or continue to pray. Removing all this harm, hate, snakes, gates, dikes, all kinds of situations that isn't godly, and all that involves themselves in everything except godly things. When it comes to the things that I believe is right to do, and help them start to pray. Well, I got on here today. Don't know exactly what I was going to talk about, but thought first thing is first is to put my prayer up here around me, surrounding me, in front of me, in advance, ahead of time, over top of me, and just direct me. Um, I don't know. I feel like doing something to my hair today when it came to individuals. And so I decided to do some of my hair in individuals. um, mm, I have so much stuff I'm doing right now and trying to do. I'm gonna just say have to do, and you know how not only the distractions get in the way, but the enemy find a way to come around you, even if you know you ain't indulging in the things that brings those kind of people around you or hatred around you. Um, I was always told you have two sides of you. I never thought that was true because I never experienced it. So you have yourself on the nice side, the good side, the beautiful side that's on the right side. Then you have the enemy, the devil, that's just a reflection of yourself, but just with different emotions and um, feelings and wants and likes. Um, but they always claim this devil looked like you. That's on the wrong side. But it's the opposite of the person that you really are. Um, I don't believe it's the devil that looks like me. I just believe it's someone on the wrong side that want to be me and just pretending to be me and using all kinds of tactics and different ways of distractions and hate and to come my way. Um, and I think it's just to distract me, take me to the non-tolerance person I used to be when it came to that. But they use people that you love to do it, and that's the part that I wouldn't say bother me because I think for them it would have been better off if them personally was doing what they wanted others to do. because I never hurt the ones I love. And even if you're in them or near them or beside them or, in their ears the wrong way or hating and, trying to manipulate um, even situations and people to do stuff and say stuff, that goes to show how much of a coward you are. If you could use someone's children, even someone's family, to come at them the wrong way, something that they normally wouldn't even do, but just to please your hate, that ain't good. I have to say, I'm not for the black people with the curse. I ain't for the curse thing, and um, I'd rather remove the curse or get the curse away from me and my family, and let them curse themselves. I mean, that's the only way I could look at it and think about it. Um, and I know everybody that go to church ain't for church. Everybody that worship ain't worshiping the right God and the right belief. I know that everything people do when it comes to even teaching someone or someone's children or their children ain't the right way to teach someone else's children or their children. So these things I do know. So these things I have to be mindful for. Everybody wasn't raised the way I was raised. Everybody don't believe the things I believe. Everybody don't do the things that I do. Everybody don't accept the things that I accept. And to be truthful, um, I don't have to um, validate that with nobody. Either you made a choice to accept it or you made a choice not to accept it. I gave birth to 5 children, and those 5 children belong to me no matter what nobody say. No matter what nobody do, no matter what nobody tell them. And it's sad to say that, a lot of them is um, hating because of that. Um, they want to claim something that ain't theirs. They want to claim children that ain't theirs. They want to claim families that ain't theirs and they ain't for. And you know what I mean? And it's just a big issue right now with me because I'm bothered by it. But I'm too structured to let them take my structure away. So um, if it ain't yours, you can't have it. If they don't belong to you, you can't. They're not yours. You can't. I mean, you can't have them. If I didn't offer you anything, you can't have it. If I didn't give you anything, it's not yours. You can't have it. You can't claim something that somebody else's. And first and foremost, some of the things you claimed was things that I didn't even know I had, but things you claimed before I found out I had certain things. And I mean, just due to greed, or I can't even say greed, just due to something that you never had. Unbelievable. It's just mind boggling how people use other people for the things that they have, but can't get what they want on their own, especially when it come to men. Why would you use a woman and her family, even when it comes to an Indian Christian family, to maintain your lifestyle or to maintain your life or to maintain and take care of your family, but neglecting the needs and the wants of those individuals. I don't understand that. But you call yourself a man. Or should I say you walk around like you're a man? But the truth be told, you know what I mean, with inside secrets. You know what I mean? I don't know how manly that is, but okay. To each his own, I guess. You know what I mean? It's not my belief, so I'm not gonna agree with it. But I feel the need to speak on something because they're in the way. They're in my way. And they have to be removed. They have to go. They have to get out of my way. You know what I mean? How can you come at somebody with nothing to offer, but you always got your hand out? How can you lie and steal from people that never even knew you, even, you know what I mean, owed you anything? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. How can you use children to cover up your sins and your hate, but then try to switch it around and put it on someone that never, ever, ever indulged in the things that you indulged in when it came to your sinful acts? I really don't understand that. It was something that I put on Facebook um, a while ago. Had to be probably some years ago. To be truthful, it could have been like 2019 or something like that. But it was something that I put on Facebook. I went on the page, Daryl Clark's page. I believe that's his name. But anyway, I went on his page and um, it was someone on there that he was basically acknowledging when it came to Christine Coulter. Um, I too acknowledged her and congratulated her on something that she was getting a knowledge for as being one of the first women commissioners and so forth and so on. So I had a question and I really needed that question answered, and I still didn't get the answer that I was waiting for, or um, still didn't get anyone to even answer the question. But this question is real important. And I believe it is because it's so much going on with laws changing and um, people in office changing, faces changing, um, even just the way it was traditionally for us to live and the things that we was accepted with living with and having, and even when it comes to certain laws. And it bothered me that I couldn't get an answer from anybody. But at the same time, I didn't know how open the page was and if my question was even noticed. So I actually took it off of Facebook. Well, it's still on there, but I think my question was like the 66th or the 67th question, um, when it came to this specific acknowledgement. And it was basically a question to ask, do you believe that laws should be changed every 4 to 8 years um, when it comes to elections? basically, I've written it down. I believe somewhere. I don't know where I've written that particular question, and I was basically letting her know or letting them know why. It was a question that was directed to Christine Coulter. I was actually um, letting her know why I was asking the question after I asked the question. And that's because a lot of things had changed, and I didn't believe it was. I don't believe it's acceptable to keep changing laws or keep uh, removing people out of office when it comes to certain terms of agreements that they take on that responsibility when it comes to them getting voted for and put in a certain position when it comes to office. And that's because once those terms are over, those laws are then broken. And we was always taught not to break any laws. So being taught not to break the law, because there's penalties that comes along with breaking the law, that so many things can happen if you break the law. Um, but it would go against that person. It wouldn't be good for that person. So I believe strongly just changing the laws every term when it comes to election and changing the person and the faces that come along with that position is breaking the laws, because once a person is elected for office and sits in any seat, they're told that they have to basically they're there to structure laws, and I believe it was to structure the laws that was already put in place and to keep them strengthened. I don't believe for 1 minute they was to change any laws, but laws have been changed, and a lot of people got hurt due to laws being changed the wrong way for them and their families. So just knowing that certain laws weren't supposed to be changed. These laws were traditional laws and laws that I can only go back to as long as I can remember that these laws was always in effect. Um, and then they started changing laws. People started losing their lives, losing their innocence, losing their houses, losing their property, losing themselves, losing each other, losing their family, even losing their own birth records and information when it comes to their personal life and their personal information due to these laws being changed. So that goes to say a lot of people lost their life due to that too. So, changing the laws, I believe, is breaking the laws. So when you put someone in office to uphold a law that already was put there, structured, and strengthened for men, women, and children, you're supposed to uphold that law, even if you find that it's necessary to put another person in office. And that's because once that person term is over and they leave office, whoever you're voting for, most likely 9 out of 10, they are using every technique to go against a lot of laws that was already built. That's why so many debates that goes on in office, and I don't believe that's good either, because it shows a person character, even the kind of person that you're voting for when it comes to um what kind of person it is that is taking on the responsibility of not only their title or their position, but also of um every woman, man, and child, because you putting them in your hands. You're in their hands once you accept them as being a part of um that position, and you're voting for that person, because now all your information and you personally is in their hands. So whatever they do reflects on everything that goes on with you, and anything that goes on with you A lot of times you don't know when certain things is being done in office and they using the ones that voted for them to uphold their I'm gonna just say their name or their status, um just so they won't fall and to keep them covered. But at the same time, you're left uncovered, you left bare, you left basically fending for yourself. Because once that term is over, that person is out of the laws. When that person leave the laws, they break the laws because they are no longer held, strengthened, structured, strengthened, or even built for the things that you voted for that person to build it for, or to strengthen them for, or to structure them laws for. So they leave with, what I mean, breaking the laws because now those laws don't hold no kind of, structure or strength to even be able to keep yourself built off of. So they now don't have that responsibility to keep the laws upholded. So then they have to leave. And now you're voting for someone else to get in office. But then those people that you're voting for or that's nominated for you to vote for is basically using other laws that they choose to use to put in office, but they don't use the same laws that was already there prior to them being in office or to them running for office. And a lot of times that is where a lot of laws get broken because they don't continue to uphold the laws that was already built. Instead, they change the laws to laws that we always was against. It was laws that we was always against that wasn't ever legal that is legal now. And it don't make sense because a lot of things have changed. Even people, even losing things and even losing people to death because of the laws that they changed. So, they done stole properties due to changing laws. They try to make it a law that you could be a squatter. You can't. You're in somebody else's property. You can't. How? How? Even if they don't live there no more and just left their house, maybe they decided to move somewhere else or buy a second house. And they just choose to live down there longer than they lived up there and just go back and forth when they feel like it. It's theirs. You can't do that. You can't take somebody else's residence. You can't take somebody else's house and claim it because they're not living in their house. Or anything is, or you feel like they abandoned their house. You can't do that. It's not yours. It's not yours. And then you try to make it legal. Like how? There's nothing legal about that. You can't take somebody's house. Even if they passed away, you can't take their house. It belongs to whoever is family members of that person. And even a lot of family members really shouldn't even be legally eligible for homes that was left due to someone's death. And that's because a lot of family members wasn't even for their own family laws. They went against their own family laws and way of living and didn't care for the person that was there or lived in that house. And then all of a sudden, when something happened, everybody got their hand out or want something. Like it don't make sense. How you gonna live the wrong life or live a different life than, or should I say, live by different laws that was already put in place for certain houses and residents and land that people have or bought already? Like you can't do that. You can't change someone else's laws. You can't. And since y'all don't wanna uphold the laws that already was put in place, you can't take laws away from people that was a tradition for them to live by these certain laws. You can't do that. You can't do that. Myself personally never voted. And I don't choose to vote. I really don't. Because first and foremost, I don't believe anybody is really doing it. First of all, I don't believe the structure or any foundation that upholds any of these situations or even laws are really sturdy enough or even strengthened enough to for me to actually put my name for someone that I know doggone well ain't living the right life for me. People is voting for so many relationships that isn't right. They voting for so many people that's living the wrong life. They even bringing marijuana into laws where as though we have to accept these things and know that it always been against the law. So how is you bringing something to laws that stuff already been against the laws when it comes to that? I don't understand that. And then it was always said that people come here, or should I say, people want to come to the United States of America for a better life. I question that. What is the better life you coming for? Someone else's life, or is you coming to better your life to do the things that you're supposed to do to uphold your own life, family, living situations, and everything else? Just have better opportunities and better ways of doing it in this city, state, and country. Or is it to steal someone else's life or to live by their life or live their life using their information, trying to be, you know what I mean, someone other than who you are? Because to be truthful about it, I don't believe they really came for to a better life to better their life. I believe a lot of them came to live off of somebody else's life and to steal from someone else in their life. And I believe that should have been a red flag for everybody. Because if you came for a better life, how is you using other heritages and other people that came from other places other than being citizens or born citizens in this city and state to do what? Change laws? Well, if the better life was here in this city, state, and country with the laws that was already put in place, why would you have to change it? And it's really other people from other heritages that's changing these laws that really, don't make sense. If you say you wasn't living the right life where you was at, or living it in other places, and this city, state, and country has a better life for people to live, why wouldn't you want to keep the laws that's already in place? Why would you want to change laws that's for a better way of living to the way of living that you didn't want to live by? I really don't understand that. So it's just something to think about, because I thought about it more times than even I wanted to. But the only reason why I believe I'm thinking about it so much is because ain't no results. They still accepting these people to come for this better life that really don't want a better life. They want your life. They want to live by someone else's life, by someone else's, but you taking away from someone who had that opportunity and was born and raised as a citizen here. You can't take from the ones that already have just to give to people that didn't have, or should I say, never even lived over here to have anything or to build anything, but then to neglect the ones that did. And then you wonder why so many homeless people out there. You know why? Because all those people that you accepting to come over here from somewhere else knew before they got here that they didn't have anywhere to go when they got here. But then you put them before citizens, and even putting them in citizen houses that already had stuff structured, built, strengthened, and all that, even when it comes to their family. But just to leave the citizens without the things that their family had and what they have. But for all these other people that wasn't born citizens in the city and state and country to come over here to have everything that we had, even when it comes to jobs, businesses, owning our own houses, cars, even the things we eat. Like how? How these people got more than the citizens that's born, the born citizens here? How do they have more than the ones that had ownership here? How do they have more than people, families that even if family members passed away, that had the opportunity to have even their family house? How do they have more than them? And how is the ones that didn't have and people properties that even brand new houses that I mean wasn't their land to build on and wasn't for them. But if you knew you didn't have nowhere to go when you came here, it was for you to structure yourself in those areas. It wasn't for you to use someone else's information or someone else's property or even be in their eyes, ears, face, and thoughts, knowing what they have to try to use it before they get it. Even in being in dead people, trying to know their thoughts, to know what they have. Like that's what they call rats. I don't know. Or roaches or what? Or just snakes. I don't know. But it's abnormal. It ain't right. There's no way in the world any born citizen should be out here with nowhere to go. And the ones that wasn't born citizens and wasn't even from here have everywhere, everything that they want, even places to go, even their own businesses. Y'all don't see something wrong with that? I don't know. You know what I mean? Y'all really don't see nothing wrong with that. And then they even getting in office, building their own laws on our foundation, on our structure, on our laws, on the laws that we already built. They using those to what? Build on us? But it wasn't even to help us. It was to take from us. How you let them take laws away? That wasn't for us. It was for our protection. It wasn't for them to take away, and it wasn't for them to change. You know what I mean? It can't be. I really don't. I don't know what they getting paid off to handle that, or I don't know how they doing it. What they scared of the thoughts or the where they at, where they located when it comes to their eyes, face, body. Listen, my thing is no matter where nobody at or what they saying or what they doing, only you can control you. That's it. Ain't nowhere in the world. People saying it ain't enough money to do this, it ain't enough money to do that. God's money is made in the United States of America. Printed and God we trust on it. There's no way that all these heritages walking around with all this money in their hand, they having God we trust in them, and don't none of them trust God. Don't none of them worship God. Don't none of them ain't none of them for his religion. Ain't none of them for his belief. Ain't none of them for the ones that he for, and it's for him. Don't none of them respect even his house when they come to church. You got them in church telling lies, hating, putting hate on people, putting curses on people. And it's like y'all just welcome them in, just saying y'all welcome to come. Nah, I ain't accepting them. I choose not to go to church today because of them. I refuse to go into church and practice, or should I say, worship God with sin, because that's all they are. their sin in churches, and I refuse to worship God and go in church with sin or even to bring sin into church. I'd rather do what I have to do and still know God knows where who I'm for and still do those things that I know I'm supposed to do. Anything other than that, I ain't in it. I ain't in it. And I'm not agreeing to it. I'm not accepting it. And I don't care how nobody feel about it. Y'all accepted that stuff and those situations, y'all have to fix them. Y'all have to fix them. I just say don't bring them my way, don't bring them my children's way. Y'all use that. Y'all use them. Y'all use all those situations, even the same sex marriages or relationships, to come at me and my children with, so I could be forced to accept that. I'm not accepting that. No matter what's going on with it, I'm not accepting that. I love my children no matter what, and I forgive them. I don't forgive none of you. And I'm not accepting it. That ain't my life. It wasn't their life. It had to start from somewhere. Get to the root of the problem and handle that. Should nobody have got hurt when it came to my family, when it came to someone else's sin, or someone else's disrespect, or someone else's wants, or just greed. But y'all better be careful with who y'all voting for. Because when y'all vote for them people, any situation they have, even any situation that they accept or even put in office when it comes to any laws that you know ain't right, will be the laws that they will force you to have to live by. And I'm not living by someone else's nonsense, no one else's laws that don't even make sense, or even living by somebody's laws that just for hate. They just hate. They hate. How you hate on love or love on hate? I don't understand that. You can't love the one you hate or hate the one you love. You can't. You can't hate the one you love or love the one you hate. You can't. There's no love and hate, and there's no hate and love. No matter how they twisted or swing it or switched it or whatever they did, you can't change a person's feelings. Even if a person in them don't feel the same way or feel different or is part of the hate or the problem, the truth outweighs all that. Love, the heart outweighs all that. Just be mindful who you vote for, because be truthful. I believe strongly if you're going by anybody else's life other than your own and your own family, when it comes to the way you are right with living, then you're making the wrong choice. You can't live off of someone else's life. You can't live off of someone else's wants. You can't live off of someone else's laws. People, so many people voted for a certain law when it came to same sex relationships and marriages. Even married people, they didn't realize when they was voting for these situations that wasn't never legal, was always against the law. They was voting to put themselves in those same situations and to lose whatever they had when it came to a marriage or the right way of living, the right kind of relationship, because you voting and you're fighting for someone else's law that you don't even live by. How you fighting for a same-sex marriage law and you ain't a same-sex partner or couple? So you're fighting for their law to uphold, but you also fighting to be a part of their law. If you don't know how disturbing that is, how can you fight for causes not knowing the causes that you're fighting for? They want to be your cause because you fought so hard for them causes. HIV, that's a cause. That's not my situation. And I'm not fighting for someone else's disease. Fight for someone else's disease for what? For me to have, oh, because she fought for the HIV. Yeah, this guy have to be, this is she have to now be a part of that, and that have to be her situation. No. I'm not fighting for nobody else's disease. I'm not fighting for nobody illness. I'm not fighting for nobody else's children. You have to fight for your own. Even if you use what I used or use what I spoke about or wrote about to keep y'all covered in all those areas, but you have to do it. I'm not. Uh-uh. I have my own children that I'm still trying to get where they supposed to be at. Despite the enemy and the hate that came around me and them, you have to fight for your own. You can just use those things and those way of living and those techniques to do those things. But other than that, if you don't apply it, I can't. I can't apply it for you because you have a choice. Either you could be all right with it or you don't. I can't apply those things for you and your family to do what y'all have to do. Those are things that you have to take responsibility on and do for yourself and your children. Other than that, I don't know what to tell you. I have my own life and I have my own children. I even have grandchildren that I believe was done, but was used when it came to someone that wasn't for me and my children coming at my children to have kids by someone that's not even for us. So now how do I handle that? I got grandchildren and my grandkids probably came from the hate side when it comes to their family on the other side. And ain't for the belief that I believe. But use my children just to bear children. First of all, they wasn't responsible enough. They wasn't mature enough. Some of them wasn't even old enough. But just for them to take from my children, for them and their part of the family, but then to, what I mean, just use us for those reasons and to claim stuff that me and my children had and have. No, can't nobody have it but me and my children. That's all. That's all. Grandkids can't even have it. What's for me and my children is for me and my children. It's just simple. It's just like that. What's for me and them is for me and them. That's coming from their mother mouth. So what was the purpose of that? Then you probably have grown people, men and women that was in those children while they was in a sexual situation or sexual act or intimate or doing whatever to even make children. Trifling. It's called rape. Isn't that against the law? Or is that another law that y'all changed? Or should I say broke? It's called molestation. Is that against the law? Or is that another law that y'all call yourself breaking? Help me understand. Because those things are against the law. From what I knew. I know I even went to jail for things that was against the law, but now they claim the things is what? Legal now? Even the things that I went to jail for. But if I could go to jail, you can too. So is it legal for grown men and women to be in children, having sexual relationships with children or even with grown-ups? Or is it illegal for grown men to be with women and have other grown men and women or even children in them while they sexually relate having a sexual relationship? Is it legal? It wasn't. Is it legal? Or is it a crime? Even though I haven't been sexually active in about 8 years, still maintaining my innocence as I should. I'm darn sure ain't gonna be in maintaining these being in these situations too much longer, because I do have a life, a intimate life that I still love to have and will and all right with having. But I'd be damn if I'd be all right with having it with someone else in the man that I'm with, or someone else in me while I'm with a man. Peeping toms, I'll call them. They rapists, molesters. You all right with that? How can you be all right with that? It's a status and label for that. Statutory rape, yeah. Cause see, I didn't accept it. Anything that you're against when it come to that, that's what it is. So just be mindful of how old the men and women are, those children are, and who is where, because it determines your future.